Hi, Nick Sterling here. In this video I'll be addressing the protests and the ridiculous riots and looting. I've said on social media that I am more outraged about the rioting and looting than I am about the actual incident. Now, of course, I am outraged by the murder of George Floyd. That officer was completely as wrong as inhumane, like I said in the last video about George Floyd. Some people have taken that statement of being more outraged about that and made it seem like I was racist, which I've never been in my entire life. Someone by the name of Katie Owens, one of my old friends, of course, was trying to make me feel bad for that statement. She said she's been waiting on my video to see why I'm more outraged about the destruction of material items than I am about the injustice of a black man. Alright, look. Okay. George Floyd was murdered. Okay. By an officer by the name of Officer Chauvin, whatever. That was wrong. And yes, I'm completely outraged about it, like I just said. That should not have happened ever. And we need to find ways to make it happen less. Because obviously it happens way too much. The peaceful protests are fine, they are being heard. There are more than enough videos out there of them being heard. The major media just doesn't want to put it out there because it doesn't fit their agenda. It seems as though the major media is worried about views, so they try to push the agenda that only the extreme will be heard and not the actual good things. So they only show the extreme and they don't show the good things. And it's just creating this war. I don't know why. It's not even a war between races, because there's all people of all different races out there doing these things. There have been so many protesters that have been heard by the police, that have cooperated with the police, and that have conversed and even helped police when someone had pulled a gun on them or assaulted them, like they've been doing. The reason why I'm so outraged about the rioters and the looters is because it's not about George Floyd. That's not about George Floyd. It is most certainly not about Black Lives Matter. Of course all lives matter, but right now the issue is all lives matter. And if you're a Christian, it's about Black Lives Matter. I think that's what I said. Anyways, if you're a Christian, then you believe that all lives matter and we shouldn't be focusing on just the one, then you need to look up the parable about the shepherd that left the 99 to go save the one. Obviously the lives of all those 99 mattered, but one was in need. So he left them to tend their own, do whatever they wanted to do as they were safe and sound, to go save the one that was in anguish. Right now we've got a people that are in anguish. People of color, POC, whatever. Black Lives Matter. Can we not say that? I mean, heck, of course all lives matter, duh. But right now, Black Lives Matter is definitely the area that we need to tend to, because some people don't get that. All right. Not all officers are bad. Not all white people are bad. Not all white people are racist. Not all black people are racist. It's just as an individual. Okay. These people that are going out and rioting and looting, they're not even just doing that, they're murdering. I don't know if y'all know that. Y'all should, but they're murdering people. And that's one thing that I need you to know, and that's one thing that makes me more outraged about the initial incident, is because they are beating store owners to death of all color: black men, white women, black women, people of all colors are getting beaten to death. I've seen a video of this man, of this black man who was defending his store. You know, how he feeds his family and pays his bills, defending it so it wouldn't get looted and broken and lose all of his money and go bankrupt and not be able to feed his family and pay his bills, end up on the street broke and all that mess. Okay? I watched him get beat to death by a mob of at least 10 to 15 people, and then left there. What on earth about that says Black Lives Matter? What on earth about that is bringing justice for George Floyd? Nothing. You're using this so you can act like a fool. This is not for Black lives. This is not for POC. This is not for George Floyd. This is for you to act a fool, to act retarded, and go out and get new things from stores without having to pay for them, to steal from companies, to steal from places. This is not about destroying their merch just to be heard. This is for you to go to Calvin Klein, to go to Nike, to go to Champion, and walk out with a brand new pair of shoes, brand new pair of pants, a shirt, hat, whatever it may be. Whatever you can get your hands on. Somebody stole a frickin' forklift. That's retarded. You have made it about yourself. You've made it about yourself. I've seen videos, this white woman, this old white woman, she was like 50, 60 something years old. Okay? She's like, I'm sitting down. She's like this tall, white hair, right? She's watching a mob of 4 to 5 black men, grown men, break in her windows in her store and start tearing it down. She's watching, right? She's not doing nothing. She's not hurting them. She's not putting her hands on them at all. And all of a sudden, a black man in I believe it was a red jacket or hoodie, whatever, walks over to her and starts beating her in the head. Closed fists. Punches her in the face and the head. And another black man, instead of stopping him, grabs a piece of wood about 12 feet long, I believe it to be like a 6x1 piece of wood, and starts beating her with it in the ribs, while the other man is beating her in the face and in the side of the head, while threatening her son while he tries to get them off of her. How absolutely ridiculous is that? If you support these rioters, you are absolutely retarded. Okay? None of it is for justice. None of it is for black lives. This is for these people to go out here and act a fool, to either get seen or get new stuff for free. And they're stupid. These are the people that deserve to be in jail. These are the people that deserve to possibly get shot, okay, by these store owners, all right? And by these police, that they are the ones that are starting the violence, initiating the violence. They are invoking, okay? They are the ones initiating it all. Alright, so when they get their crap knocked, when they get their teeth knocked in by a canister of tear gas, they deserved it. Because they're being ridiculously stupid. Now these people that are protesting, just protesting, okay? These rioters, looters, they're not protesting, they're stupid. But the actual protesters with signs, right, and chanting, the ones that are not blocking roads like idiots, the ones standing on the side of the roads, right, signs and everything, being heard, mind you, and cooperating with the police, right? Plenty of videos out there if you want to actually do some research and look at them. I'm not very good at editing, so I won't know how to put that in here or whatever. So, do your own research. I'm just saying. It's out there. You can't be too arrogant to see only one side. This doesn't fit the agenda of the majority of the Black Lives Matter movement. Because the majority of the Black Lives Matter movement is becoming kind of like the feminist movement. They become toxic masochists. Something like that. That feminists become just people or women who hate men who just because they're men. Right? And it's no longer about women being strong. At least the majority of the feminist movement is. This is becoming the same way with the Black Lives. It's becoming their agenda to play the victim card and blame everybody but themselves and not give themselves empowerment. And it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Willie, mentioned him in the George Floyd video. He said that everyone is incoherently racist, and that it's basically everyone's born racist, and that it's a lifelong process of being educated and learning to not be racist. That is one of the most ignorant statements I've ever heard in my entire life. I was not born racist, okay? I've never had to learn. Nobody had to teach me that black people are just the same as me. That I'm just the same as a black person. No one has ever had to teach me that. That's a duh. I mean, come on. Nobody is born racist. You learn to be racist. You are taught to be racist. And of course, Katie Owens went on there and liked it and agreed with him, basically saying that she was born racist and she had to learn to not be racist, okay? I'm not saying that's what she said. I'm just saying that's the implications there. I'm not more upset about this than the actual incident because of the material and objects and the merchandise of these companies. That's not why I'm more outraged about it. I don't care about the destruction, although that is stupid in itself. I care about the reasons behind it. They're saying this because of George Floyd. They're saying it's to be heard for Black Lives Matter movement, when that's not at all what they're doing. They're creating chaos and calamity, breaking into these stores to get free stuff just to act a fool and be stupid. That's all they're doing. It has nothing to do with actual justice at all. All lives matter, yes. But the issue we need to work on right now is Black Lives Matter. That is the issue that some people are having. Black Lives Matter. So that's what we need to focus on. Those rioters and looters, they're not some heroes. They're stupid people. They're complete retards, okay? And that being said, as far as either racial slurs or prejudice slurs, whatever you want to call them, go, it doesn't matter what race you are or who you're using them against. They need to stop as well. I'm not personally offended. I don't care. Willie called me a chalky. Not just me. I mean, he did personally call me a chalky, but he mostly refers to white people as chalkies now. I don't care. Call me whatever you want to. It's just names. Katie accused me of being racist, and she even went so far as to challenge my faith. Look, I believe in the Bible all the way, 100%. Every word in that Bible is true. There's not a word in there that is false. I'm not angry about the destruction of merchandise and physical things. I'm not angrier about that than I am the unjust murder of a black man because of the merchandise, only because of the reasoning behind the rioting. It's ridiculous. It's not helping a single thing. It's making things 1,000 times worse. You were being heard just fine doing the normal protest, actual protest. You're being heard just fine with those. Trust me. You got whole police departments listening to you and complying with you, letting you get your word out there. Vloggers and pedestrians, video recording on their phones and cameras. Your word is getting out there just because it's not being pushed on major news outlets because they're insanely worried about views and views only and not about getting the actual truth out there. It's not mean you go out and break stuff and steal stuff like complete imbeciles. Freaking makes me angry. It makes me very angry. Obviously, Chalky does not have the same weight of a background as the N-word or a term like wetback or a term like, I don't know racial slurs because I don't use them. I've never used them. Never been racist, not even as a child, before someone had to teach me to not be racist because I was not born racist. I was not incoherently or inherently racist. I was never racist a day in my life. These riders need to get their crap straight before all of them get their teeth kicked in by the National Guard. The National Guard don't play by the same rules as the officers do. They don't have the same kind of laws that they have to abide by. The National Guard comes and you do what they say, or force will happen. You don't want that. Trump's already issued his right, not martial law, as an act that he has acted upon and initiated that allows the National Guard to go through and treat all rioters as terrorists. Because that's exactly how they should be treated. But you don't want that. They don't have to stop telling you what to do just because of where you're at. They don't have to not use brutal force just because of where you're at. They can pretty much do almost what they want. Excuse me. Black Lives Matter, okay? Something everybody needs to understand. Obviously all lives matter, but right now Black Lives Matter. Well, they always do, but you know what I mean. As far as my faith goes, worry about yours first, and I'll worry about mine. As far as racism goes, I've never been a part of it, and I never will be. As far as rioting goes, it needs to stop, because it has nothing to do with the agenda that you're trying to put across, and everything to do with yourself and foolishness. Keep protesting because you're being heard. God bless you and have a blessed day.